What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Backstage with BeU. Today on the show, we have an amazing producer who goes by the name of PilotKid. PilotKid, how are we doing today, man?
Doing amazing, bro. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. So I know we got a lot to talk about today, but, let's start off with the basics. Tell us where you're from and how you got into music and producing.
So I'm from Fresno, California. It's like 3 hours north of Los Angeles. And I've been involved in music pretty much my whole life, since a young age, growing up around it. And then I was like a band geek, since sixth grade all the way to high school. So that's really where my musical taste developed, being in jazz bands and stuff like that. And I didn't start producing until my senior year because I couldn't afford a laptop and stuff. And then so for college, I kind of needed a reason to get a laptop. And so I saw there's a video on YouTube of J. Cole making Power Trip on a tour bus. And he has a MacBook, this very specific MIDI keyboard. It's an Akai or something like that, and Logic. And I saw that video and I was like, I'm just going to get all that stuff. And if he can make Power Trip, I can do whatever. And then I started doing that, yeah.
That's sick. So how'd you come up with your name, PilotKid?
So I would say one of my biggest influences for sure is Tyler. Even apart from music, I just was like everybody else, bro. I just wanted to be Tyler in high school. But specifically, I think it's track 3 off of Cherry Bomb, Pilot. That song just really resonated with me. And that long story short, he talks about always being in a very good position, but he's never feels like he's there. He says, I'm in first class, but I feel like coach. And I always felt like that with music. In music or any creative thing, you're really looking for the end goal, even though you're somewhere that a lot of people would kill to be. The whole message of that song really resonated with me, and I just kind of stuck with it. And then Kid is because I'm pretty immature, and I wanted to incorporate kids somewhere in my name without and Kid Cudi's one of my biggest influences. So I kind of just mashed them together and it works. I mean, it rolls off the tongue every now and then. So
that's sick that you took influences from Tyler and Kid Cudi.
Yeah, bro.
Combined, yeah. And that's dope. That analogy that you put into place about first class and coach, and you're at where other people would want to be, but you still want to keep getting better and better, improving.
Yeah.
It's sick. So can you tell us a little bit about your creative process when you're making music?
My creative process is really all over the place, to be honest. I've learned recently to schedule my days and because beat block used to get to me and waiting for inspiration and all this kind of stuff. So now I kind of have a set routine. I wake up in the morning, go for a run, do some meditation, read for a little bit. And then usually around 9 o'clock is when I start my day. And then no matter how I'm feeling, whatever, I've learned that just sitting down at a consistent time every day, the inspiration just comes. You just I've learned not to wait for it and just sit for it and work and then see what happens. But I'll really do anything for inspiration, to be honest with you. That's the biggest obstacle, I would say. It's not really an obstacle because I make music, so it's I try not to complain ever about anything. But I'd if I ever feel stuck, maybe I'll go for a drive around LA 4 or 5 when the sun's setting, and that'll inspire something. Or I'll go out to the beach, or I'll go on a hike. I try to take inspiration from everything. But yeah, I'm sorry if that was a very all over the place answer, but all of that I would say goes into my creative process. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day and what I want to make and what I'm feeling. I try to use that as kind of a starting point for what I want to make.
For sure, man. That's awesome. And so you said you've been doing music for basically your whole life, and you've been producing for quite some time now. So, what advice would you give to, people that want to start producing, or, young producers that are already producing, making beats and whatnot? What advice would you give to them?
I would just say, just stick with it every day, man. If every day, just do something, you know what I mean? If you really love it, and it's always going to be there, no matter what you do, no matter how much money you have, wherever you are in life, you're going to make it work, and you're always going to go back to music. Even if you get frustrated with music and you put it away for some time, and it's not even music, any creative photographer, whatever, if you put I know frustration's a big thing, and if it's really for you, you're going to come back to it eventually. So I would say consistency is the biggest thing. Just every single day, you getting better at your craft is what's going to motivate you more than anything else. But I would say that just being consistent, find some times during the day, no matter how long it is, just try to find time every day to do what you love and just work on your craft. And then just really don't worry about anything else. I would say just don't try to like box yourself in. Make as much stuff as you can from all over the place, and just be very open with your process, I would say.
For sure. And like you alluded to earlier, you know, if you get stuck in like a writer's block or beat block, you know, just go on a drive, go do something, take your mind off it for a second and get back into it.
Yeah.
And start with something, and then something will come up. So that's definitely some good advice.
Yeah, of course.
The next question I have for you is, if you could produce for any artist or end up as on any future project, who would it be with and why?
Oh man, this is the fun question.
Sure.
I definitely have to say, bro, it has to be Kanye. Like, it has top 3 influences. It has to be, okay, so top 3 influences would be Kanye, Tyler, Tame Impala, Kevin Parker. And then Childish Gambino would be like 3.5. So like any one of those dudes, I feel like low key, maybe not Tyler, just because he has his own thing, and like, I don't know what I could bring to the table for him, but like
Right.
being in a room, just to even like be a fly on the wall, just to see how Kanye works or how Kevin Parker works, or just how talented like Donald Glover is. Like,
Yeah.
I would just, you know what I mean? More than anything, I think being in the room with those guys would just be like insane. And those are like my dream collaborations for sure.
Tame Impala would be definitely pretty different too. That'd be pretty sick.
Oh my Lord, dude. That is, yeah, I would say that's like within the past 3 years, that's been my biggest influence, like by far. Just because like I've been listening to hip hop forever, and that kind of, I discovered them with Currents, and that like opened my world to this like whole new sound. I'm like, wow, like, so I try to incorporate that with my beats, and some of my biggest placements have been like off of that type of sound. So yeah, I would say definitely being in the room with somebody like that who just does everything themselves, and like it's just always looking for inspiration. I definitely would like, that'd be crazy. That'd be sick.
When I found you on YouTube, I saw like all these different type beats ranging from like, it'd be like Tame Impala mixed with like Baby Keem and Travis and ASAP.
Yeah.
Things I was like, what is going on? It's just so many different things.
No, I appreciate that.
No,
yeah, that goes back to my earlier point. What was that?
I said it's just super different.
Yeah, that goes back to my earlier point. I would say like to anybody trying to come up, I was rapping before I started producing. I wasn't even trying to do this like full time, but I was producing an album for myself, and I had all these beats laying around that were all kinds of different vibes that I couldn't necessarily work on. I was like, why don't I just try putting them on YouTube? Because I know, like, being an artist, I know what it's like to look for beats and release a beat and all that stuff. So I was already familiar with it. So I was like, let me try this out. And then it just started taking steam, and then I put more focus into that. And then, just started blowing up. And if you could go all the way back in my YouTube, like, bro, I have a Cardi B type beat, like from when I first started. Like, my top search terms are like Tame Impala, Baby Keem, Jaden Smith, A$AP Rocky, Frank Ocean. Like, it's all over the place. And I would say, like, I think a lot of producers and creatives in general might just get stuck trying to like hold on to a niche. And while that might work at some points, I would definitely stress like the opposite end. Like, never let that box you in or anything. Just try everything, because you never know. You know what I mean? My biggest beat that I uploaded, that I got that Lyrical Lemonade placement with, I almost never uploaded it because it's a Tame Impala type beat, and I was uploading Kanye type beats and like A$AP Rocky, and I was like, dude, nobody's gonna like this. Like, what, but I was on vacation in Hawaii, and I needed an upload because I was trying to stay consistent with my uploads, and I had this ready. I was just kind of like, I don't know, but my thinking was like, I'm not that big. Like, if I drop it and nobody listens to it, whatever.
Right.
And then I dropped it. I almost didn't, bro. I was like very, very cautious, and then it ends up going crazy. So that's like my biggest testament, to just try everything. Like, you truly, truly never know. And if you could go look right now, I pinned my comment. It says, "This isn't hip hop, but I hope you guys mess with the vibe." And then, yeah, it's just crazy to look back on it and think that like I almost never dropped that. Like, it's crazy.
No, definitely. I've talked to like other artists and producers before who have like had like things sitting in the vault that they didn't think anyone was gonna fuck with, and then they ended up dropping it, and like that was like the song or beat that like put them on. You know what I mean? Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Is that Lyrical Lemonade feature you're talking about, the Danny Towers one?
Yes, sir. Yeah. That beat. That beat has opened a lot of doors for me. And like I said, going back to the beginning, it's like I didn't have any beats like even remotely sounding like that before that upload. And then after that, now it's like that like if I would have stuck to one niche, you know, and everything, like
Yeah.
all these different opportunities wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean?
So,
So it's just like adding that to the belt. So literally, Danny Towers just DM'd me on Instagram. He was like, yo, I really like this beat. Like, I need this beat. Like, whatever we got to do. And it's like my biggest beats. And he wanted the exclusive. And if you're a YouTube producer, you just know, like, that's like your baby. And it's like, ooh, I don't know. Like, this is low-key paying the bills. Like, do I believe in this? And then so we're going back and forth for a few months. This was maybe like April or March of 2019. He got it like, he asked about it like 3 months after it came out. So very, very early on, April, March 2019. And then we ended up settling on something, didn't hear back from him. And then he told me about Lyrical Lemonade. And I was like, yeah, all right. Like, you know, I kind of didn't believe it. And then, so the week of Thanksgiving, I haven't heard from him for a while. Then the week of Thanksgiving, like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving Day or Tuesday, one of those days, I was with my family. And then somebody sends me a DM like, yo, did you see this? And like, yeah. And then that's the first time I heard about it. And I was like, yo, this is really happening. And then it dropped, and then I was like, my mind was blown, and like, yeah, it was just crazy after that. But that's literally how it happened. I waited for a while, and then out of the blue, it just comes out. I'm like, yo, it actually came out. Like, I can't believe it. So yeah, he just literally DM'd me, and then yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so I guess speaking on your like recent success, what do your next 3 to 5 years look like for you?
Honestly, bro, it's just building my own catalog and making music that I'm like truly proud of. Just keep it up with my YouTube channel, you know what I mean? For keeping that avenue open, but as well as like, I just really want to sit back and have like a bunch of records that I'm proud of, you know what I mean? And just build up my catalog and just, I think that's one of my biggest goals, especially for the next 3 to 5 years, maybe starting something bigger than myself, you know, getting into merch, helping out younger producers, helping out artists, like just putting together something bigger than myself that I can like look back on and just be super proud of. Just apart from the whole producing thing, you know, I just really want to see how I can contribute to the musical landscape, like the best way that I know how, and see what I can do with my sound and how I can elevate other artists, other producers, just a whole bunch of things. I definitely want to give back and try to be a part of something bigger than myself.
100%, bro. I love that you said that you want to give back to the music scene and be a part of something bigger than yourself. And I think when you do things like that and pay it kind of forward, that things come back to you tenfold. So that's really cool to hear. Well, you guys heard it here first. PilotKid. Check him out on YouTube. Just look up PilotKid, pretty sure. And then you can follow him on Instagram at PilotKid_. Bro, appreciate you coming on the show today, man. It was a great interview.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for having me.
For sure, man. Let's catch you later.
All right, bro.
All right.